Hey, everybody, what's going on? This is the PRF TV music video podcast. We're going to try something a little different tonight. On the main show, we're going to have Chad Ruiz, Steve Caballero, and the boys of URETHANE. Some great stuff they're doing. We're going to play some URETHANE, probably pretty URETHANE heavy until the main show goes down at 9:30 Eastern. Chad and the guys will be on, and we'll kick some ass and talk about some skateboarding, some punk rock, all that cool shit. But I'm going to get it started with URETHANE. Well, let's get it started with something else. I want Oliver to hear some URETHANE. So Oliver King's going to join us, the newest addition to PRF TV. And, he's going to hang out with us. My cousin, you'll meet the illustrious Pig Hall this evening. He will be with us. Hopefully we'll have some other folks with us tonight. After the main show, we have my homie Ken Faraday, who is, if you like acoustic, like Tony Sly, Joey Cape, stuff like that, we have Ken Faraday for you tonight. He's fucking phenomenal. I love the dude. I think he's a great guy. And Ken will be coming to us live from Canada. So let's get it on. Let's get over here. Let's start the screen sharing. Saturday, obviously, we have Jason DeBoer of Authority Zero. So I'm going to I think I'm going to get it started with some, well, guess who? Authority Zero. Well, no, apparently Joey Cape's one. But you know what? I played that really late last night on the podcast. So we're not going to go into that. We are going to go into Authority Zero with Ollie Oxenfree.
Your future powered by cryptocurrency.
No,
Meet
my
the
future will
tax-free way
never
to
be
invest
powered
in
by
crypto.
cryptocurrency.
With an
because
auto
I'm
crypto
fucking broke.
IRA, you can use your retirement savings to buy, sell.
We're going to be setting up a Patreon and some kind of accounts and stuff. We have to start paying some bills around here. Need electricity to do this show. So I love you guys. We'll see you here soon. Authority Zero, Ollie Oxenfree. We have my homie Oliver King. He's joining us. There's Oliver. What's up, bro? What's up, man?
Oh, not much. Just finishing my dinner and hanging out.
You look thrilled, man. What's going on? Well, I'll tell you what. Finish your dinner. We'll finish the video, and I'll play another song, and we'll come back, man.
Oh,
We'll come back. We'll come back right after the break, and we'll talk about some Split Second and some Oliver King shit. And then we'll
sounds
right
good.
on.
Delusional days, aggravation, deviation, face the pavement. Just pick yourself up again.
Here comes Get Dead with Fire Sale. This song fucking kicks ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking badass, man. Like, the video's kind of cool too, because the dude like paints his name on like the big side of like a fucking barn and shit. Kind of ballsy.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was just staged. It was fucking too big to be like, you know, fucking, oh yeah, we just got out on the side of the highway and did this shit, but it's a rad video.
Yeah. It was probably like one of their friends or a contact barn, and they paid them, you know.
Absolutely, or something. Absolutely, or something they were gonna demolish or something shit like that, or maybe not. I mean, you just never know, I guess. Great song though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if it was like what I said, that it was like a friend's house, like there's nothing wrong with that.
No, and I think Sam King's tagging name is Fire Sale, so I think that might be what it is. I'm pretty certain.
Yeah.
I talked to him once time before, but I ended up, you know, having some issues, and we didn't get to do the interview with Sam King. But we'll fucking, we'll get it coming back when they get back off tour.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Here's the alleged incident.
Yeah. No, I may stand corrected. That does look like just some random place in the middle of nowhere.
It really kind of does. It really kind of does, man. So what do you got going on with Split Second coming up, Oliver?
Well, we just got booked a show on Sunday at Muse on the Main, where I'm going to see TBR and gonna talk to Jake from Flamingo Nosebleed before the show.
Rad, man.
Excited about that. They're good dudes. We've played with them before, and Fort Wayne happens to be their hometown, so it should be a good time.
You know, dude, I never keep a band together, man. I have a lot of admiration for people in the scene that are happy. You guys, that, you know, just have to consider like.
When you're sharing the video with me, you cut in and out real bad, and I can't hear you.
Actually out in the scene doing things, you know what I mean?
There we go.
One thing to, you know, talk about it, as we've talked about and things like that, you know, but to actually be out and about doing it and playing the music, because the music's what's important. Without the music, we have no scene. You know?
Right.
So, you know, good luck with that. That's what I tell people from now on. I'm just like, look, you know, it's about the music. It's not about your opinions. It's not about your day-to-day whatever. You know, it's just about the music, and that's you know, I think more or less what we're trying to do here, you know, is keep it about punk rock. So
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on tonight, man. We got
Appreciate
a couple
you
hours
having
till
me.
the big fucking you know, interview with URETHANE, Chad Ruiz, Steve Caballero and the guys. Wow, you know, I mean, I'm kind of sitting here like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just-
I'm excited, man.
it's crazy, dude. It's crazy to think that like we're gonna do this, man. But I think we'll do fine. We have my
Oh,
cousin Nick Hall. He'll be with us tonight. He's a really good dude. And
Cool.
well, it'd be me and him, dude. We'll shoot the shit with Urethane and see what those guys have been up to. You
Yeah.
know, apparently Steve Caballero, which is just, dude. I had a pair of Steve Cab shoes when I was in high school, bro. They were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah, they were like black, you know, and had like white bottoms and with the bands like honeycomb on the bottom. And
Yeah.
there was like a little red dragon on the side, dude. It was like, I don't know, maybe they were the Cab 1s or 2s. I don't know what they were, but I distinctly remember loving those shoes. So I think that's
Yeah.
a funny fucking thing that now, you know, 20 fucking years later, I'm gonna get to talk to the man. And I mean, he's a legend in skateboarding. I mean, you can't.
Oh, yeah.
He's undeniable. I mean, it's like it's like when I think skateboarding, I think Tony Hawk and Steve Caballero. You know, those are the dudes that I think about. So you know, the
My-
Bones Brigade and shit, you know?
Yeah, Steve has always been in that thought, like you said, like when I think of skateboarding, Steve has always been in my top 3. Like
Absolutely.
like right off the bat, like he is like legend doesn't even begin to cover what he is.
I mean,
you
Steve
know,
is an
in
innovator.
regards to skateboarding.
It's crazy, dude. Like, you know, when I think of Tony Hawk, like Tony Hawk was a great vert skater. You know, great on a vert ramp, great, you know, the dude will fly. You know what I mean? But when I think of Cab, I think of Cab, and he did it like it all. You know, Cab was
Yeah,
on the vert ramp, Cab was on the street course. I mean, you know, so
yeah,
I don't know, man. It's just it's wild. I almost hold him in the highest regard when it comes to skateboarding because I kind of think Cab did a little bit of everything.
yeah. The versatility. It's it's uh it's not easy. Like
Fuck
me,
no.
I was I was always a street skater. Like me and vert ramps never got along well.
Yeah, I'm not
Bowls and
supposed to fly. I have no wings.
and so like a lot of my favorite skaters were never the vert skaters. Like I liked them, but that like I gravitated towards the street and the park, specifically the street, like Rodney Mullen, Day One Song,
Oh
and
yeah.
then I mean even throwing Steve in there, like Steve was like you said, he was versatile. He was everywhere. He was on the flat ground, he was in the air on the verts. He's
Absolutely.
on, you know, yeah, he was everywhere and deserves every bit of accolade and kudos that can be given to him.
Dude, Rodney Mullins, I love that song in Skate or Die by TBR. He's like, Mullins, my God, he brings me joy. The second coming
Yeah,
of Skate and Destroy. I love that fucking line, dude. I think of that almost, dude. Every time I see Rodney Mullins, I think of that TBR song.
yeah.
Let's jump into some TBR since you're going to be heading on the 11th, and it looks like I'm going to be heading on the 13th. So
Oh,
you know,
nice.
we'll get some TBR going here. Some Skate or Die. I think it's apropos, seeing as we're going to have the
Oh
guys
yeah,
from Urethane. And then I'll
yeah.
probably get into some urethane, bro. We'll see where it goes. I just kind of sit
Yeah,
here, man, and this is an experiment. If the
yeah.
show, you know, doing the show takes off, I have. By the way, this is a new just in development in the world of PRF Sean Sellers of Good Riddance will be joining us on the PRF music video podcast Friday night. So if you like
Nice.
Sean Sellers, I mean, who the fuck doesn't, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, I would say for me in punk rock, as far as drummers go, there's Sean Sellers and Chris Daly. Like those two, forget about it. You know what I mean?
I
Sean,
got one to add to your list.
right on. Go ahead, brother.
Byron McMacken from Pennywise.
Oh, dude, absolutely. And you know, while we're at it, I guess, you know, Eric Standen from No Effects, you can't really,
Yeah,
you Smelly, I mean, you can't really talk drumming without talking him. I was
yeah,
always a big fan of, I'm a big fan of Darren Chuka too of TBR. I think he's a
yeah.
great drummer. You know,
Meg,
underrated. That double
Meg
time
from the
beat is,
Casualties keeps a really good drive going.
oh
Always.
yeah.
I love it.
The Casualties are rad, man.
Yeah,
I was always like of the opinion that, like, you know, I was never really like a pop punk or like a skate punk or street punk. Like I just like it all. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
to me, it was just like, oh, dude, this is rad. You know what I mean? Anything that had that attitude to it, that was what I like. You know what I mean? And you could just hear the attitude in these fucking guys. It's fucking, and plus they're kind of fucking funny,
yeah.
dude. Here we go.
Yeah.
Skate or Die, TBR, the PRF music video podcast. We'll shut up and play some music now.
We're gonna win. We're making skate a fucking threat again. We're on the prowl for something cool. We're gonna shut your empty swimming pool. We're doing sloppies at the Circle K, and I didn't only blow us on my walk, but that's a JFA. Don't be a pussy, there's no need to cry, so shut up and get right, 'cause now it's time to skate or die. Yeah, you don't need to know the reason why. Just shut up and get right, 'cause now it's time to skate or die. Go!
love it.
That part. I can't hear that song though without hearing this one because the way the record is sequenced. So we're gonna do bigger than Kiss. Fuck it. So, dude, this song kicks my ass every single time, man.
I love it. And honestly, I'm a Kiss fan, and I still like.
Well, I fucking like Kiss too, man. My uncle listened to them when I was growing up. They fucking roll, dude.
Detroit couldn't rock himself out of a paper bag. Gene Simmons looks kinda cool, but Paul Stanley kinda looks like a jag. Ace Frehley can play guitar, but he ain't no fucking Gary King. So get your ass out of the way, here comes a rock revolution. Listen up, 'cause I'm about to sing the creatures of the night. Can't hold this. We'll be kicking ass, we'll be taking names, we'll be bigger than Kiss. I never thought cocaine could be as good as this. We'll live our lives in alcoholic bliss, we'll be bigger than Kiss. Rock! Me and Charlie, we like it loud, yeah, you know we rock and roll all night. Paul Stanley fell down the stage and broke a hip, let's hope he's not alright. The ladies don't like a man, now my love gun is the one-engine man. And we're gonna go down in history as the world's greatest rock and roll band, the creatures of the night. Can't over this. We'll be kicking ass, we'll be taking names, we'll be bigger than Kiss. Gonna take me love and get a load of this. Ray beat the piss out of Peter Chris, now we're bigger than Kiss. Go!
Why I think that last part is so funny where like Miguel's holding that sign that says Ponzi Rocket. I don't know why that's so funny. I don't get the joke. I'm sure it's some inside joke, but I fucking find it to be hilarious.
Ponzi Rock?
Yeah, it says Ponzi instead of Teenage Bottle Rocket. It says Ponzi Rocket, like a Ponzi scheme. I was like, dude, that's fucking
Okay, so my understanding, like the Ponzi Rock, is your slave to the industry 70s butt rock, where like
yes,
these bands are manufactured by record companies
Boston and shit like that.
yeah, and like that's my understanding what Ponzi Rock is.
That's
where
a good understanding,
it's-
bro. I like that a
the-
lot.
The music industry is just a big Ponzi scheme
Absolutely.
that we funnel all of our money into all this merchandise and music and stuff, and you know, like that's the Ponzi scheme.
It sure the fuck is. And you know, I'm kind of glad that like basically during COVID, like I don't think we'd be sitting here if like your classic rock and roll music industry pretty much hadn't died. Because like there was all these rules and restrictions before, and now it's like the Wild West. Dumb fucks like me can just like contact bands and be like, hey, you want to come interview on my internet TV show? And they're like, well, I mean, Sony's not doing shit for us, so I guess I will.
Yeah, and that's a big thing, like with not only kind of saying like this platform, but figuring out others of split second of like the same thing. Like, yeah, we don't have a record company or anything backing us. We don't have any PR managers or nothing. Our exposure is what we can put out there.
When Trevor and I were still working together, we had gotten a PR company, right? He got us a PR lady, and I'm like, and I'm just gonna say it. I'm like, he sends me this, and I guess I was supposed to be excited about it, right? And I'm like, kind of like I think we're gonna get fucked, dude. Eventually somebody's gonna fuck us here.
That would have been way more money than what it would have been worth.
I was like, what the fuck? She's like, well, we can get you this person, that person. And I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm like just checking them off the list. And I told Trevor after the meeting we had, it was like a Zoom meeting. not a Zoom meeting, but he had a telephone meeting with her. He
Yeah.
was smart enough not to take me along, and because I would have just said something. I would have just been like, yeah, well, we've talked to like 6 of those 8 people already. I mean, like, what are you
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
offering me here? Like, I mean, there were a couple that I was really super interested in talking to, and then I guess I started working again and by myself, and now I think like we're going to be 8 of 8 on that list. So I figured, fuck a fucking PR company. I mean, if somebody wants to give me some free public relations work, fucking A. I mean, I'm all about it. But at the same time, I am my own PR company, Oliver. I think we're going to be okay. I find that persistence is the key here. If you just blow up people, no, I'm just kidding. You blow up their inbox.
I mean, that's one way to go about it. And if
They're like, dude, I got to get rid of this dude, man. I got to get rid of this fucking guy. You know, this guy's fucking annoying. And I'm like, well, here's one guy I blew the shit out of, or not blew the shit up. Whole different fucking situation. No, I blew up his inbox was Pat Hall of the Let Me Downs. No, actually, that's a fucking lie. Pat Hall was actually one of the most gracious people. Him, Paul, Garrett, they're 3 of the most gracious dudes that I've ever dealt with, to be frank. And they were like almost immediately like down to come on, and they're a fucking great band. Here's Jameson on Ice by the Let Me Downs.
My son's name. I love this song too.
Oh, fucking good, man. Pat is such a singer, dude. The dude's got like that classic. Oh man, the dude sings his balls off. Paul's not bad himself, but damn, I like Pat.
Conversation flow like wine. She told the secrets I told her mine. Friday night alone. A drunken message left on the phone. Waiting for my dust. Just one more round. To fix these broken glass, it's all I've got. This is my life. Jameson on ice. While I'm drinking with memories. This is my life. Jameson on ice. While I'm drinking with memories. She said my honesty was nice. But honesty was just too right.
He's a hell of a guitar player too, man.
Yeah. Not because of this song in any way or anything, but I said that I named my son's name is Jameson, and he's totally named after the booze.
Oh, dude, their music is fucking killer. This is a band I found through our PRF TV friend Blake Seven, and he's out there in Arizona where one of the guys are from, Paul Levesque, and the other guys are from Tacoma, Washington. Well, what happened was Paul had met a girl at Punk Rock Bowling. They hit it off or whatever, and she was from Tacoma. So Paul moved up there, thinking, okay, cool. And he already thought it was cool because he had Pat and Garrett up there. So, they were making music and having fun, and he had this girl. Well, the girl decided, she was cool on Paul. So, Paul was like, fuck it, man, I'm going back to Arizona. This is the age of the internet. We can make this work. And they have, surprisingly enough. I mean, they've made it into quite the fucking band, I would say. I mean, they are really, really fucking good. I'm gonna play their first single here in a minute. Tacoma's for Lovers. I love that song. And then I'll probably get into some Face to Face because I talked with Danny Thompson, and I'm hoping that eventually here we'll have Danny Thompson for Face to Face on the show. Which, I mean,
that'd be awesome. We do a Face to Face cover in our set every show.
what song, man?
I'm Trying.
Oh, that's a good tune.
Yep.
I always do the Face to Face on the podcast lately. I've been calling it the Double D, which is really dumb, but you know what I mean. It's funny because I do Double Cross and Disconnected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people seem to like. I love Double Cross. That's probably my favorite Face to Face song. That or Blind. I love the song Blind by them. I know that's probably like everybody likes that song, but fuck, it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Me, our singer and the other guitar player, Jared is a huge Face to Face fan. Like I'm a Face to Face fan as well, but Jared, he takes the cake on that one.
I'm a little late to the party on Face to Face, but god damn are they good.
Yeah.
I literally in the last year just started getting into them. I knew who they were, and I heard their music and stuff like that. And I always thought it was good. I didn't think it sucked or anything like that, but it was one of those bands I never went down the road with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boy, I did this year. Boy, I did this year. I bought a t-shirt, like 8 records,
Yeah,
They're
there's a
fucking
lot
good,
of
man.
There's a lot of bands that I do the same thing with. Like I need to dive down that rabbit hole, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it.
Dude, there's so many good punk bands, especially when it comes to like, punk rock is like one of those things with people where it's like, it's a deeply personal music to everybody who's into it. I don't know a punk rocker that they don't guard their record collection with their life. I mean, I just don't.
Right.
And, there's always going to be those 4 or 5 bands that are real heavy in somebody's collection. And you can always tell who their favorites are. Because you're like, God damn, the dude's got like 80 Descendants records. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Weird fucking singles from Japan, shit like that. But that's what makes it cool. You know what I mean? I've been really I've always been in 2001, I got into Authority Zero. I mean, they've always been like one of the top 3 bands that I'm into. And it's just fucking wild, dude, because Jason DeVore, to me, has always been like one of the best singers in punk rock. I just love the dude's voice. He's a fucking animal when he wants to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's like this stuff, like I started messing around and doing this PRF TV stuff. And I've done shit, like worked with Jason. I've done, and like, still to sit there and think about that, I'm like, man, like my head just like wants to fucking explode. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it. Definitely.
Because
Dude,
it legit is like one of my favorite singers of all time. So I'm just like looking at this dude and I'm like, and he's just a normal guy, just like you and me, man. He's just chilling,
right.
Cool as can fucking be, and appreciative. I mean, like he's a good dude.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind that everybody that like I would like as a kid, like I idolized, a lot of them that I've talked to are just simply some of the sweetest people you'd ever meet in your life, dude.
Yeah.
And
there's always been that. There's always, I don't know what you want to call it, like that nougat center to punk rock.
Oh, sure, dude.
Is we have the outward, the outward appearance of everything, but inside, like the punk community has always been within the community, like the kindest people you'll ever come across.
I
And
don't. I can't disagree with you. I don't know anybody in the punk rock community that I really, really don't like. You know what I mean? The actual punk rock community. You know what I mean? Like
so
people that I've met or like people that I've done stuff with, and I'm just like, man, you guys are really cool, man. Thank you so much. And you know, they'll tell you the same thing. Oh no, 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 thank you, we appreciate you. And you're just like, dude, you know, that was rad. You know what I mean?
right.
I mean,
Well,
like
it's
Chad tonight with urethane, bro. Like Chad, I literally contacted Chad, okay? And I'm like, I knew he was in urethane, I knew he was in skipjack. And you know, either way, I would have talked to just Chad, you know what I mean? Because I think he's a rad dude.
Yeah.
And Chad got right back with me. I mean, like right back with me. And he's like, dude, you know, we're gonna be practicing Wednesday night. Why don't you just get a hold of us then? That way you can talk to the whole band. And like, I'm like, man, what a fucking cool dude. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
I
Well,
mean, he
like,
doesn't know me from Adam. He's seen, I guess he's seen the show like once or twice. You know what I mean? Which in that itself was like, oh, okay, well, you know, these guys in the scene that they're really good people. You know, like Pat. Like I had Pat on New Year's Eve, and Pat was just a sweetheart. He brought Garrett along with him. You know, that was a surprise. You know, and those guys were killer. And then I
yeah,
had Brandon Landelis, who, you know, Vulture Wake, dude. I don't know if you checked them out yet, but man, they are fucking rad. And you know, he was formerly with 40 Zero. He wrote with Jason DeVore my favorite album by him, The Tipping Point. So I always nerd
yeah.
out with him, and I'm like, so uh, no other place. What was the story there? You know, and Brandon just laughs and he tells me the whole fucking story. You know, he could probably
Yeah.
be like, you know, Paul McCartney and just be like, Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? Like the Chris
Yeah.
Farley, Paul McCartney dynamic on Saturday Night Live. He could be like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, this fat guy, you know, like, come on, man. But no, dude, he'll just nerd out and fucking be like, oh, I used this amp and, you know, this guitar and we fucking did this. And I'm like, man, you know, and then like, I'm always like, thank you, man. And he's like, Brandon just laughs about it. You know, he just has a good time. He's really good
Right.
people. Well, I tell you
Yeah,
what,
like, there's a it made me think about it when you were talking about uh the internet relationship situation, and thinking of like what we're talking about now about like the kind-hearted center to the community that's always been there,
absolutely.
of kind of doing one of those, you know, back in the day flashback scenes, when you think of how bands used to put each other up, you know what I mean? Like someone was on tour and they're, you know, like you're about to go play Seattle, and there you couldn't afford to go get a motel room or anything
Hell
like that.
no.
So what are you doing? You're sleeping on the floor of one of the local bands fucking squatter house and shit.
Absolutely, dude.
You do
I
the show and you're hopping off to the next spot, and that was, you know, to think about doing that in today's day and age, it's not impossible to do, but it's
no,
improbable that people today would do something like that.
you know, I have to agree. I think people want people are so worried about, you know, how they look at things and their opinions, and opinions anymore is just thought verification. You know, everybody used to have different opinions on everything, and we were all okay with, you know, you didn't have to even, I mean, people didn't even vote the same way back in the day. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
now everybody's like, well, who, and dude, it's just, it's getting to be where I hate to say this almost, but we might have to hit the reset button at some point, because, you know, punk rock was supposed to be like everyone was an individual, they did their thing, and at the same time, though, you recognized each other and you were like, look, you know, I got to look out for that dude, because, you know, there was a sense of like brotherhood and sisterhood there. And because, you know, there wasn't a ton of you, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? And there
Yeah.
still isn't, you know, we're just getting older. And, you know, like when we talked to Stefan the first time, him letting kids into the show that are under 18 and under, that blew my mind, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here.
I was like, dude, this dude is committed to like what it was about. You know what I mean? His dude
Right.
is committed to it. And you know, we're gonna have I haven't publicly said this, but me and Oliver, we have already interviewed Stefan Bayham of SPAM Records. Well, dummy here, me, not Oliver, me, Didn't know how
Thank
to
you for
operate Zoom
clarifying that.
properly. And I didn't record the fucking meeting. So Stefan, being the gracious individual that he is coming back Friday afternoon. And I now know how to record a Zoom meeting. So, everything should work out just swimmingly. We'll see. I'll tell you what, we're going to jump into Tacoma is for Lovers by the Let Me Downs. And then we'll come back with some face-to-face and hopefully some more Oliver King.
Yeah. That mustache is ridiculously awesome.
Forgot to hit the volume on the song so people can hear it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go.
I remember watching the waves rolling. Always Beach, Washington. We sat and talked all day away. Now I wish I never went away. When you wake up tomorrow, will you still feel the same way about me? The same way about me. Over 1,000 miles away, on the shoreline of the bay, left my heart with a girl in Tacoma. Over 1,000 miles away, she took my breath away, left my heart with a girl in Tacoma. Headed through Los Angeles, looking up golden drive. Your name is written in the stars. Makes me wish you never said goodbye to me. When you wake up tomorrow, will you still feel the same way about me? The same way about me. Over 1,000 miles away, off the shoreline of the bay, left my heart with a girl in Tacoma. Over 1,000 miles away, she took my breath away, left my heart with a girl in Tacoma. Anxiety will get the best of me this time. Somehow, some way, I'm going to change her mind. 1,000 miles away, on the shoreline of the bay, left my heart with a girl in Tacoma. Over 1,000 miles away, she took my breath away, left my heart with a girl in Tacoma.
That fucking breakdown is rad, man.
We got some new stuff on the drawing board and stuff right now as we're getting ready to jump back into show season and get back into the studio and get this new album cranked out.
They're a really, really good band, man. You know what was cool for them this year? Punknews.org gave them the 19th out of 20 albums that they thought were the 20 best, most solid records ever released this year. And Let Me Down for 19.
Nice.
Completely a year ago, completely unknown. Independent band. Obviously, they're still independent.
Yeah.
And just from word of mouth and killing it and doing the work. Their number, 19. I was like, man, that is fucking great. I couldn't have been happier for them, man.
Oh yeah, congratulations to them, dude. Like, in all earnesty, I love it. Like,
Well,
that'd be like,
Pat Hall has been in PRD since, dude, the early days, like when I first
yeah.
started in there. And I never knew he
See,
was in the Let Me Downs.
I was in there for a small time, way back in the beginning, and the Avril Lavigne worship got me to leave.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
la-
It's a
I
fucking weird
lasted
thing.
like 2 weeks in there, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Like,
I got starting to know some of those guys, and I started getting to know Richard and Jared, and
yeah.
I stayed in there for a long time, and they started letting women in, right?
Hmm.
So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I mean, I don't care. I was raised by my mom. I don't fucking care, dude.
Yeah.
And fucking. So then they decide like 2 days later that they're going to boot them all out. And I'm just like, man, I don't know. I can't get behind that, guys. That's kind of stupid.
Yeah, it
And
was
I
a
was
dick
very
move.
vocal about it, very vocal. And I got into it with Richard. I got into it with Jared. I got into it with everybody because I thought it was fucking wrong. I just thought it was dumb and wrong and kind of like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So I left and I started, obviously I started PRF, and it's turned into whatever it's turned into now. And, the story goes forward because now, I don't think I'm really going to be in there much anymore. And, leave it to the community to police the community is what I'm going to do in there. And,
Yeah.
I've dedicated my time and most of my resources
Got to get back to focusing on the real
the
world.
real world, man. I know,
It's
and you saying that was kind of like, I had thought that, but I never vocalized it because, I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. A lot of these people
right.
online are really good people. But then,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you got some of them that are they're vicious, dude. They're vicious little
Mhm.
trolls. And I don't have any problem fucking saying it, man. They're vicious little trolls. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, dude, what is that? Where is that getting you anywhere? What are you getting out of that? I don't care who runs a hate campaign against me. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting here with you talking about a band we're going to interview and fucking having a good time. People
Yeah.
posting memes about me, I could give a fuck. And
Yeah.
that's what they don't. I mean, I guess they just don't understand. I don't know, man. But that's
That,
enough of that. Let's go with the antagonizers,
yeah.
ATL, a little street punk,
Uh,
man, and a little
I'll
fuck
give,
you to
I'll
some
give,
certain
I'll give you a
people.
quick little quip of wisdom here, real quick,
Yes, sir.
on the response to that. The reason is because doing that to them in the internet world, that means something. You don't understand it because that's not where you're at. You're out here in the real world. Even though we're using the internet,
I
we're
get it, man. I get
yeah,
it.
we're we're
Certain
yeah,
people, and also my brother made a really good point. My cousin, who you'll meet him later, he made a really good point to me the other day about a lot of this stuff, dude. I pointed it out to him, and I'm like, man, this is bullshit, blah blah blah. And he looked at me and he said, Bud, who gives a fuck? He goes, dude, if you don't have haters, you're not doing it right. And I'm like, I was like, it almost sounded like a rap song or something to me. I was like, oh, okay. But
I'm almost sure it's in there somewhere.
he made a good point to me. He explained, his look at it. And he's like, man, he goes, a lot of it, I think, dude, is just you're trying to do things that other people would like to do. And I don't want to sound pretentious or an asshole by saying that, because it does sound kind of asshole-ish. But dude, I mean, you're in a band, you get it. You're out there playing music, you know what I mean? A lot of people would love to be in a punk rock band. A lot of people would love to have a punk rock show, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think that, but see, this is why I'm talking to a guy in a punk rock band. You know what I mean? Because they get it.
Yeah.
And that's why I interview guys in punk rock bands and girls in punk rock bands, because they
Yep.
get it. We're out here trying to, as much as anyone will deny it, nobody, we all know we're not going to get rich. We all know we're not going to be the fucking Metallica. We all know
Right.
that shit. But
Yeah.
dude, we're out here trying to better our lives and put our art out there for everybody to take a look at, dude.
Mhm.
I'm not much of a music writer, dude, but I'll tell you what, I can ask some questions.
Hey, look, here's something I've always kind of thought in seeing like the internet punk rock community, and I've always felt like it's almost destined to fail. And the reason why is because punk rock is rooted in DIY. And like that's why we're out here doing exactly what you said. That's why we're out here playing the shows and keeping the music going, because we have that do it yourself drive
Absolutely,
that
man.
and so like that real life physical sense of community is it's too rooted in the DNA of punk rock. It
Absolutely. I
really
mean,
is.
that's how it got started. People getting up off their ass and doing it themselves. And that's what it was
Mhm.
about. You know, like bands like Black, stuff like that, man. You know, like they were like, look, dude, I'm playing 3 fucking chords and we got a singer, a drummer, and a bass player. We're doing it. What's your problem? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I loved that. You know, when
Yeah.
I got into punk, you know what I mean? You know, I've been catching myself saying punk. I never used to refer to punk rock as punk ever. I thought it was disrespectful. I always called it punk rock. I always used the word punk rock,
Yeah.
always. And now I'm just like, yeah, punk band, stop punk, you know, and that's fine. But you know, it's just some weird thing that I have where I'm always like, oh, punk rock band, blah 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 blah. You know, Mr. Well Spoken over here. And I've had to learn to relax, like especially on the podcast. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know if you obviously you've seen some of the PRF TV. I don't smoke on the show. I don't drink on PRF TV. You know, but
Yeah.
during the podcast, I'm like, dude, what am I doing? I'm sitting here playing fucking videos and I'm staring deadpan into the camera. It's creepy. So I was like, you know what, dude? I have a liquor store behind me. I'm gonna smoke. I'm gonna fucking relax and act like a normal fucking human being. You know what I mean? Now during the interviews, I'm still going to strive for professionalism, obviously. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But dude, when I'm sitting here and we're just chilling with a guest and we're fucking playing music and talking shit, dude, I think you know I just need to relax a little bit. And what I'm saying is with myself, all the way around, I need to relax a little bit. I'm such a high
Yeah.
strung individual, you know, and I just think it's the drive constantly to like get something done. Like I never feel like I can achieve enough in one day. And
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. It's really weird. And I'm trying to make this into like a real fucking thing. Like, oh man, I was about mortified this morning. I went into my Facebook story and I put this one clip in there. It was like Bad Religion's playing. And I'm like, this year we will become your #1 news source. You know what I mean? I was like, how confident was I last night? How many beers did I really drink? You know, it was a little bit much for me. But here's Face to Face Double Cross. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Big mouth.
That's all right.
Hey man, it's like I said earlier, dude. My heart's just as big as my fucking mouth. I'm just not smart enough to run them both at the same time.
I'm gonna take off after this song. Be back up with you.
Seemed like we were
We are T minus 90 minutes from Steve Cab and Chad Ruiz of Urethane. T minus 90 minutes.
It's hard to see it any other way.
Oh, man.
You're tilted and you're not quite true. I should have done away with you. Telling me the things you knew I wanted, but you were leaving out the best part and saving it for last. Saving it for last. Remember when we used to have it? It never seemed like we were on the table. along the way. It's hard to see it any other way. Jilted and when I came to, I knew I couldn't count on you. Telling me the things I thought I wanted, just beyond my reach but not my grasp. And I put out my hand, and I put out my hand. Remember where we used to have it made? It never seemed like we were on the take. Remember where we said we had it made? It never seemed like we were on the take. We were double-crossed along the way. It's a double cross, and we're afraid. It's hard to see it any other way.
I made playlists so it'd be like easier to get to these certain videos. And there it was. I found it. Here's the stupidly named Double D of Double Crossed and Disconnected, and here's Disconnected. And then we'll be back and we'll talk some more shit. The PRF TV music video podcast.
You don't know a thing about me. Is there something that you should know? I can tell you what you wanna hear. Let your inhibitions just go.
I love this, man.
This song is, dude, I mean,
Trust is something that comes easy when you've never been a victim. Lies and promises and words are said. But your decision to accept them, accept them. You don't know what you want. It may take you years to find out. You don't know what you need. Something that may never come to you. To you.
right, so that was 2 from face to face. They both fucking rock too. So back to the shit talking. What do you think, man, with Cab and Urethane tonight? You think we're gonna fuck it up, or you think we're gonna kick some ass, man? What do you think?
I think we're gonna kick ass.
I think we're gonna kick ass too. I'm a confident motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Dude, well, I'm trying to sit here and I'm trying to think of like what to ask Chad and Cab, dude. And I'm just like, what I keep coming back to is with Steve. I want to ask him, like why he thinks there's such a one hand washes the other, almost like a glove situation with skateboarding and punk rock.
Right. A correlation.
A correlation of sorts, absolutely. And I think that's undeniable. You can't say
Yeah, it's undeniable.
that they don't go together, dude. I mean, like, I mean, fuck, dude. That's how I got into punk rock. I was a little skater kid, and my buddy, his brother had like this just ghetto JVC black dub tape, and I heard it coming out of the car, and I was like, oh man, I want to hear some more of that. My buddy, this is how cool he was. He literally went over to his brother's car and stole it straight out of the tape deck when they were like, they probably like went out back of the garage to like get high or something,
Right.
And he just like rolled up to his brother's vehicle, popped it out of the tape deck, brought it over, and he's like, take it home and check it out. It's sweet, dude. And I'm like, and it was Operation Ivy Energy and Body Count, the first, the Cop Killer record.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this is the shit. So I just went on from there, man. And Bad Religion, fucking Pennywise, fucking, all those great bands that we grew up listening to, man. And I have to thank skateboarding for that. I almost have to.
Yeah. Here, so along with exactly what we're saying, not just a correlation with skateboarding, but even the inline skating and the BMXing, that extreme sport,
Absolutely.
that street style sport, that correlation that's there. My thought has always kind of been this, and I think it's a great question, and I'm excited to hear Steve's answer. That the necessary adrenaline surge that you need to, dive face first down a 16 stair set, there's got to be that drive, there's got to be that curiosity,
I
and
agree, man.
and punk is it,
I think punk rock is like it birthed that attitude that skaters needed to get the job done. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
I mean, think about like the old, like DI, Adolescence, like the old punk rock, that these guys were into. And it was like perfect. You had the Dicks, the Big Boys, you had fucking all that shit, MDC, fucking the Dead Kennedys. And it was what these guys needed to, like you said, dive down a 16 fucking staircase on a goddamn handrail. You know what I mean? On a fucking piece of wood with some wheels to it. I mean, it's fucking
right.
You know what I mean? But I like how you brought up BMX, because I always loved BMX too, man. And I think those guys are cut from the same fucking cloth, dude. Riding a goddamn bike is fucking hard, dude. And especially like that. Like being a street rider, a vert rider, park rider, whatever, dude. That takes serious balls. Now, I'll tell you who was a motherfucker on a BMX bike. You'll meet him later tonight. My cousin Nick. This motherfucker was a badass on a BMX bike. I mean, the dude had a vert ramp in his backyard. I mean, like, and it's what he needed to get through to do his shit. I mean, there was always, hardcore fucking punk rock blasting, fucking thrash metal. I mean, something like that. Yeah. To get this kid up and down the ramp and getting it done. You know what I mean? Yeah. He just rocked it, dude. So let's find something a little harder edged.
Yeah. I got to take off.
Okay.
I'm gonna meet back up with you tonight, and we're gonna talk urethane.
That is exactly what we're gonna do. I'm glad you came on for a little bit, brother. Fucking.
Hey, I appreciate you having me, man.
And of course, man. You're part of the team now, bro. We gotta get it done. You know what I mean? So right on. That's Oliver King, guitarist of Split Second, and the newest member of the PRF TV main show crew. podcast crew, the whole fucking thing, dude. So, you know, he's in Ohio, I'm in Ohio, Nick's in Ohio. We're keeping it Ohio now. So, you know, I
Oh,
appreciate
wait.
your time, brother. I'll see you here in a little bit, my man. Be good.
Take it easy.
Yes, sir. All right. That was Oliver King, man. He's a fucking rad dude. I guess you just got me for a little while. Maybe I'll try to talk to Ken Faraday and get him in early and see what he has to say about everything, because we're still like 90 minutes out from Cab and those guys. So I will either be jumping off the air real soon, or maybe we'll talk to Ken Faraday or one of these other guys that I know and get it done. But since it's just me, I think you know what's coming. We're gonna play some. We're gonna play a little bit more Authority Zero. We are gonna play. Oh man, I don't know. Probably When We Rule the World, because my other co-host isn't here, and I'd prefer she was. So maybe you know, maybe she'll hear this song and be like, oh, okay, all right. Probably not though. Fucking Casper. Anyway, fucking here's Authority Zero, When We Rule the World. I got Jason DeBoer Saturday afternoon, the singer, songwriter extraordinaire of Authority Zero. He has a great solo career. If you've never heard the Conviction albums by DeBoer, pick those up, dude. They are just one of those records that I love. I mean, I can't go wrong with this stuff, though. You know what I mean? You guys are probably tired of hearing it on the PRF TV music video podcast. Get used to it. Here's Authority Zero, When We Rule the World.
The best playoff tickets are free when you win instant karma from Credit Karma Money.
Ready to create a website quickly and easily? Bluehost Website Builder helps you do just that, and then some. Build a WordPress website with super simple drag and drop and smart AI for fast, oh yeah. It'll look good here, there,
Our screen sharing. Authority Zero, When We Rule the World. Your FTV music video podcast.
So far away from here, listen sweetly, hear everything so clear. I say we go it alone. Now tell me, what do you say? I think it's time we move on from here. Quite possibly, let's change us right for your own kings of the world. On way, on way, on way. We don't walk down these streets anymore. We don't feel the same way we had before. So rock yourself to sleep at all. On me when we rule the world. Coming in here, it's something I've been missing. It seems something we both know to be done with. Oh, I feel our empire is building as the rocks fall around. I hear it calling my name, but I can never be found. Let's change us right, we're all kings of the world. On way, on way, on way. We don't walk down these streets anymore. the same way we have before. So rock yourself to sleep and call on me when we roll the world. Are we waiting? Are we now for something to save us from ourselves? Are we creating this distance somehow? Are we waiting now? We don't want these streets anymore. We don't feel the same way we have before. So rock yourself to sleep and call on me when we rule the world. We don't walk down these streets anymore. We don't feel the same way we have before. So rock yourself to sleep and call on me when we rule the world. We don't walk down these streets anymore. We don't think the same way we had before. So rock yourself to sleep and call on me when we rule the world. Yeah, on me when we rule the world.
Dude, that song, man, is just wow. You know what I mean? That's one of those tunes, dude, that like when me and Oliver were talking about like punk rock hitting deeply, deeply personal. That is a deeply personal song to me, man. So after talking to Jason, it's not exactly what Jason meant by it. But I know what it means to me, and I know who it means to me, and you know what that's all about. So I love that song. The lyrics to that song are some of the most beautiful lyrics I've probably ever heard. But before we get all sappy and all crazy, let's get to something. You know, let's do something. I had posted earlier today. This is one of my favorite songs of all time. This is "Lift One Up" by Authority Zero, and again, I don't think that what Jay was writing is necessarily what I mean when I think of "Lift One Up," but I do know what it means deeply, deeply to me. So "Lift One Up," Authority Zero. We'll get back with something else after that.
Verizon is going ultra, and so is your home internet. What's this? Verizon 5G for your home? See ya, cable. Just plug and play. It's ultra fast, ultra simple 5G home internet. And it's 50% off with your unlimited plan. Verizon is going ultra, so you can too.
Shouting at the top of your voice to make a difference, so you pass out all you're spinning your life up in the air. A long, long way until you figure it out. Back to the basics of how you got there. Tonight we're living like the end of the world is finally happening. Scream until our voices are gone, and they will do it again. This is a chance to make things right. This is a chance to feel alive and shout it out. They say you'll never run know until you give it a shot. I said it never like it, slow you down or make you stop. Just keep it moving and take it to the end of the earth and shut it out until you find out.
Our friend Brandon Dion Lando is about to get smacked in the back of the head. What's up, Brando?
Give me something to worth singing. Whoa, what's it mean to you? This may come as a surprise. It's some way for living, but staying alive and singing. Whoa, I'll always be there for you. So now there's music in the air that takes it to that place. Another turning point in front is here, face to face. So give us something that is true and helps us understand. We're going to help us make it through. See, I'm the kind of guy that's always betting on the best of little moments that you truly put yourself to the test. I'm shouting out until my voice is gone. This is it. Tonight, let's feel alright. Come on, shout it out. Whoa, give me something to worth singing. Whoa, what's it mean to you? This may come as a surprise, but somewhere from living that same alive and singing. Whoa, I'll always be there for you. So let's run on to put one down. We keep singing these old songs the whole lives through. It's where we found. They touched our hearts. They saved our lives. Through thick and thin, they've been there to help us through and reconcile and singing. Give me something to we're singing. Whoa, what's it mean to you? We're singing. Whoa, give me something to we're singing. Whoa, what's it mean to you? This may come as a surprise, but someone's living that same life and singing. Whoa, I'll always be there for you. Shouting at the top of your voice to make a difference, yeah. Now you still got something to say. We've got a long, long way to figure it out. Trying just to break out through and make a difference now. Now you still got something to say. We've got a long, long way to figure it out. We're back to the basics of how you got there.
With compliance mandates and security threats around every corner, having complete control over how your users are transferring sensitive information is necessary. MoveIt keeps your files safe and helps you ensure
All right, let's do a double shot from urethane. We're going to have him on the show here. We are T-minus an hour and 15 minutes out from Steve Cab and urethane, Chad Ruiz and the guys. So that's going to be the main show tonight. It's going to be me, Nick Hall, and Oliver King, and urethane.
There's a place I'll go when everything seems dead. There's somebody else you
Reminiscent of the California Raisins, kind of like a claymation type video. Pretty cool.
from my hands, and the ocean eats this land. When you are gone and they are taking everything, I'll go back to Wyoming. I'll go back to Wyoming.
All right, that was Urethane with Wyoming. Let's get right into another song by them. Like I said, we're about T minus an hour and 10 from Steve Cab, Chad Ruiz, and Urethane. You guys don't know who Steve Cab is. I can't help you out there, but Chad Ruiz is a bass player in Skipjack, and obviously Steve Caballero is probably the biggest name in skateboarding, professional skateboarding. So, yeah, man, we're gonna kick some ass tonight. So we'll see you here shortly on the main show. This is the PRF Video Podcast.
Here she lies immortalized by these photographs. 'Cause she tried and then she died, gave everything she had. There he stands, the image of a successful man. A voice screaming out so long, would anyone care if I'm gone? Sometimes it's like 1,000 paper cuts. Surprising, you never knew a thing. Gravity don't pull me down from the stars. 'Cause it's a place where I am happy and I can hide from my scars. Gravity, quit bringing me to my knees. It takes all I got to stand up and pretend that I am free from gravity. In this world, I think something's wrong with my eyes, and I don't know how to see it then. Turns out there's so much more than you realize if you just keep going. You'll always be surprised. Sometimes it's like 1,000 paper cuts. Surprising, you never knew a thing. And I know what it feels like to wanna disappear. But this place is so much better with you here. Gravity, oh, pull me down from the stars. 'Cause it's a place where I am happy and I can hide from my scars. Gravity, quit bringing me to my knees. Takes all I got to stand up and pretend that I am free from gravity.
It's negative. I wish you the worst deal. To feel the
I have the ability to help people escape reality, at least for the next week or so. I make my whole home your home. I know there's no such thing as too many s'mores. I have a responsibility to make every stay amazing. I am a Verbo host.
she talk all night and talk all day. I didn't like her anyway. She talk all night and talk the day away. Trouble, trouble, it was all she was looking for. So look, little goose who passed me by, little chicks who gets their eye, you know, it makes me so sick, yeah. Here I sit, with no one near and crying in my beer. Love, 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 just ain't a game I play. Oh no, love, 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 just ain't a game I play.
Grammarly does more than catch errors.
All right. Thank you for watching the first hour of the PRF TV Music Video Podcast. In the next hour, we're going to have Chad Ruiz, Steve Caballero, and the guys from Urethane. See you then.